trying to go on the outside. New leader. Gunback's gonna lead it. Having it 3 turns to go. How rough is it gonna get? Where is Magia? Last year's heartbreak. This year, he's gonna win. He's gonna suicide, but here comes Jade around the outside. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 7th episode of the Revved Up podcast, brought to you by the WRL. With me tonight, returning guest William Moore, and CMS, new guest this week. First name is Hunter. How you boys doing tonight?
Well, I'm doing pretty good.
No, not too bad.
Good. It's good to both have you here. If anyone who doesn't know, Will actually works for Ryan Sieg Racing, so they are getting ready for Daytona here in a few weeks. So it's gonna be kind of cool to have an inside scoop from Will, and then CMS, man, a driver in the WRL. He participated in SRX, and what's the other one? CMS. I'm losing my mind.
Entry series.
He's in the entry series. That is correct. You know how many drivers? We have 89 people in our Discord, and I try to keep track of them as best as I can, but it's a challenge from time to time.
Hey, don't worry, I'm a no name anyway.
So Will actually went up to an A class earlier tonight for license. So congratulations to Will on that. And my extended storage broke. That's cute. So we're gonna fix that while we're doing this. Will, let's start with you. The inside scoop at Ryan Sieg. What are you guys working on right now?
Getting all the Daytona cars ready and getting out west stuff done. We got 9 cars to get ready in 2 weeks. And then Xfinity now has the new housing rule. So we're using cup style housings. They've taken all the camber out of them. So they're basically just straight tubes now. And then there's a piece that goes over the spindle now. It's like a sleeve that you can adjust camber with. Trying to get all of those because I'm the rear end guy, so I'm trying to get all that done. Actually, while I'm thinking about it, if I can get my camera to flip here, if I know how to do it. There it is. Anybody wants to see if it'll flip? That is outside my living room.
That's awesome.
But yeah, trying to get all that done. And hopefully, I think on Tuesdays, motors get here, or Wednesday morning. So get all things in, start getting stuff ready to go Daytona and out west.
That's awesome. It's so cool that you have like an inside scoop for us, and that we found you. Also, do you want to talk about you forming a team in the WRL? Bring that up.
Yep. Me and Keith now have we have combined together, and we now have AMR. So it's it's cool to have a team with Keith. Me and him have kind of become good friends, and we were doing a Mike's League, and we decided there was no teams, so we decided to create our own, and we figured we'd bring it over here too, and merge for my truck campaign and my Bush campaign, and then I'm going with Nitro for Cup because I'm running all 3 this year. So that's going to be fun to do. Trying to do Bush and truck in one night, and then that night going and running a Cup race. But I want to run as much as I possibly can, so that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, it was a big change. The admins decided on this year was to bring, and there is Weston Grant. He's hopping in too. He's gonna be here. It was a big change to us allowing drivers to run all 3 series or even 2 series, because we haven't allowed that since the second season, where we had enough people where there was no need for it. So it's pretty cool to allow that to happen. And of course, Grant has the Chase Elliott championship flag behind him.
Yep. There's also a little towel right there too.
Oh, okay, I didn't see that through your head there, but that's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Um, so yeah, Will, and that's you guys have done really well with your team. You guys starting out running over in Mike's league. We're gonna be running that here about 9 o'clock tonight. So uh, big race in Sonoma in the Bush cars. So it's gonna be a great time with that. So CMS, buddy, we're gonna jump up to you, introduce you a little bit, let you introduce yourself to the WRL family. So CMS, as we said early, he runs the entry series and he also ran SRX with us. Um, Maybe trying to get him a little bit more involved in the next season or so. But CMS, go ahead and introduce yourself to the to the WRL real quick, and then I'll ask you some questions about yourself.
So, as everybody knows, I am CMS is my tag I go by. My real name, Anthony, I go by Hunter, but you guys can call me Anthony, Hunter, whatever. Um, I've been racing since 2019 through other division series that I've owned, a couple other series that I'm still active in, and just been been what 120 races now that
Yep,
I've ran.
that's what you sent me.
Yeah, and I've stuck with the same number for every year, the 14C. Whenever I can run it, I run it. Whenever I can't, I settle with what I can get.
Mm. Yeah, Corduroy Motorsports. Did I say that right?
Cordray,
Cordray. Okay, I'm sorry,
you're good.
but yeah,
Everybody's last name.
it's all
Jake
good.
messing up names again.
Listen, listen. I wouldn't be an announcer if I didn't mess up someone's name every now and again.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So, CMS, you with entry this season, you got told you had to come back to entry for another season. But the admins do allow after the fourth week, we are going to be pulling some people out of entry. So, how do you feel about your chances about being pulled out?
I mean, it all depends on how it goes. I've done some seat time with Mike's league. I've been doing seat time in other leagues, but the other leagues more World of Outlaws. But I mean, thing helps going into this season because of tracks, and the more seat time you have, the more you know what needs to be done, what don't need to be done, even if it's a different game, because the more seat time gives you more time to think about what needs to be done, experience different things.
Hmm. Yeah, it's definitely in the WRL we are very inclusive. We run just about anything with wheels and a motor. We run it,
Yeah.
we race it. Um, with Wreckfest starting back up here next Saturday night, GTA starting up Friday night. Gonna be we're gonna be racing every day of the week here pretty soon. And it's gonna be a good time. Everybody enjoys running as much as they possibly can. I myself, I like running different things. I don't like running the same thing every week or every night. So I know I'll enjoy running Wreckfest again. I can't wait. Um, Grant, we're gonna hop to you. You signed with Blues Brothers Racing for Wreckfest this season. Uh,
Yeah, unfortunately, to some technical issues, I may not be able to make them. So
oh, that is highly unfortunate.
yeah, I was looking forward to another great season. Wreckfest has been one of those. It's been, really fun to run all season long, especially, with the competition that we have and the possibility of you never know when you're going to get trashed, and thrown
That's
in
the
the
best
garbage
part.
can, whatever you want to put here. Um, but it's definitely one of those stress relievers on a weekly basis that, a lot of people use. And it's one of the things that have become kind of popular with us recently. So, one of the things to look out for coming up soon, and wish I could join.
Yeah, it stinks. I wish you could be there myself. I don't know. I enjoy it. I with signing a Christian Soberg and giving him part ownership of the team for Wreckfest. It it's it's very hard to battle with a guy that's arguably his best series, and when you got to battle somebody who's better than you week in and week out, it's very tough. So Wreckfest is kind of
Yep.
like the great equalizer because if you DNF, you don't get any points. So
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You never know when you're going to get junked out there on the track, so you got to really watch it.
mm-hmm, absolutely. So, um, Grant, do you have any questions for Will or CMS? See if you got anything.
Oh no, I think you pretty well nailed it.
See, I'm just too good at my job. Just
Yeah,
too good at my
exactly.
job. So, Will, with you running all three series this year, what is that? How much of a challenge is that going to be for you to jump into three different cars? Well, two cars and a truck in a matter of 48 hours.
I don't think it's going to be the different driving styles of each car, and the truck is going to be the issue. A
Hmm.
lot of it's going to be because this season I really wanted to focus on Bush, and then but run trucks just to do it. But then when the whole thing allowing of you can do two, but you can do three starting with admin approval, and I want to run as much as I want to. And I figured, well, I'll just do Cup, and the most difficult part, and it was going to be difficult without doing all three or not, but was doing Bush and truck on the same night. Running a truck at 7 and then 8:30 running a Bush car. So one of them isn't too bad. The other one's probably one of the harder ones to drive in the game. But I like the Bush cars. They're fun. I've done decent in them the last 2 seasons. My first full season making the playoffs, and then my second season running in the chase for a little bit. Um, but it's going to be fun to see if I can do all three in two in one night and still run pretty decent. That's going to be the main goal, is to try to run as good as I can.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a challenge, especially when we get to road courses, because not all the road courses line up with each other. Um, and that's going to be, I think it's going to be the hardest challenge. I know I'm planning on running some truck. I don't know what Jarrett Reese plans on wanting to do because I know we were originally going to split time in the 39, but with that, it's just I don't know what the plan is with that. I haven't had a chance to actually sit down and talk with him quite yet. Um, oh, Kevin, I didn't forget you. Okay, I didn't forget you, Kev. I purposely meant that to sound. I'm just playing. But so what Kevin's referencing is that this season Fatal rebranded again before the season even started. We rebranded twice in this off season. We are no 3 times actually. We are was it Stanley's Fatal Nachos plus Keith is our Wreckfest team name. So that's in my eyes that's probably one of the greatest team names there ever was, is, or will be. It's great.
You're
I
welcome for the
just
name, by the way.
what
You're welcome for the name, by the way, because that was my idea.
I appreciate it, Grant. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Just make sure you get proper uh due out there.
Appreciate it. Appreciate you calling me out.
Yeah, you're welcome, bud.
Yeah, I get you. I get you. Yeah, but it's um. So Grant, are you planning on running more series this season? Or are you planning on just running Cup? What's your plan over?
Plan is just for Cup, but I may jump in the truck and Bush car every now and then.
Okay, so you're not planning to run full time. Good.
No.
Uh,
So yes, you got me in the booth like always, Jade.
Perfect. Now, if we can just get someone with a stream for the truck race, I can run the whole season. Feel good about myself. But missing rings. That's all I'm gonna say. And Jarrett Reese and Keith, they both know. They both know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
At least Grant. So Grant said, or Kevin said, Grant, that at least Grant gave us something before stabbing us in the back. He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Didn't really stab you in the back. Just being passed around. It's different.
It's being passed around. Yep.
Yeah.
So, so between the three of you, is there any tracks you guys are looking forward to for the season this year?
Honestly, for me, it's super speedways. It's great equalizer, especially in the league. We've put on some really great racing there since I've joined. With Daytona, Talladega, but then also the road courses have been a lot of fun to watch too these past couple seasons. So that's what I'm watching out for.
Yeah, road course racing, that's something that the WRL is embracing fully, especially with the custom setups on road courses. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy the road courses a lot more than I used to. CMS, is there anything you're looking forward to this season?
Anything that's not a road course or a short track.
Well, there you go. There you go. Will, you got anything?
Definitely the super speedways. Those are going to be interesting. Road course wise, Sonoma in the truck, I think it's going to be good. I ran pretty decent last night in Mike's league there, but I had speed compared to some of the guys that run in our leagues that are over there. Um, Bristol is another one. I mean, that's the only time I've really ever been faster than Keith or Goose or any of them. Um, Kansas is always one I've liked. If you can get up front and stay there. But most of the mile and a halfs are pretty decent. I know I am definitely not looking forward to if we end up running Gateway or Loudon. I cannot stand either one of them two tracks.
Come on, Gateway was a good race for me.
So to answer that question,
Gateway. Okay, yeah, go ahead, Jade.
so I am pulling up. Oh, I don't have the schedule up anymore. Good job, Jade.
Great, great job, Jade.
Oh, here, you know what?
A+ viewers.
Yeah, you know how I am.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All
But
right.
no, Gateway is going to be one of those tracks this year. It's going to be a little bit different. Going from a points paying race last year to now it's the All Star event. For the Cup guys. It's definitely going to be interesting to see. Who goes all out for that one.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. So I am pulling up the NASCAR schedules. So week 7 is New Hampshire. You said what? New Hampshire and which one? Gateway were the two you weren't
Yeah.
looking forward to?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Gateway is our all-star race this year, so that's week 13, halfway through the season. So, yeah, I think it's gonna be a good season. Me personally, I love racing Eldora. I think Eldora is the best track in the game. Um, and that I just love it. Love it, love it, love it to pieces. I like road courses too, so I think those are gonna be fun. Um, I'm looking forward to the Indy Roval. I've won there 2 years in a row, and I'd love to win there once again. So that's all I'm saying.
I mean, I love the Indy road course. I
Mm-hmm.
know if that was the first race I ever raced with you guys in Bush.
Yeah, I actually remember reaching out to you before that and had like no idea who you were, what you did or what you were going to school for, and I'd like to think it's blossomed into a nice friendship, you know. So I don't know. I enjoy the league. I really do. Sometimes it gets on my nerves, but yeah, that's just with everything else you love. You love and hate it at the same time. Um, so races being out of the way. Um, you guys have any questions about the schedule? Like anything, like you guys can think about tracks you guys wish that was on the schedule. I think we hit just about every single track there is.
Or
Yeah,
at
I
least
think
attempt
so.
to.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, Martinsville's gonna be the interesting one for me because I can't save my life there. That track's just too tough for me.
yeah. That was kind of the nice thing about us getting an off week after Martinsville, because if we remember, last year was the Martinsville was the worst race of the season, the Bush race there, the worst race of the season, and a lot of heads were. I wanted to smash a lot of heads together after that night. It was a bad night for us all in general. Um,
Didn't trucks go flying that race?
what?
I said, didn't trucks go flying that race?
Bush cars went flying that race. It was all Bush cars that was the issue. Oh, and Kevin's looking forward to Bristol without me because he doesn't like being behind me because he can't pass me. Because I run the most annoying line at Bristol there is. Like it's like in the middle of two, and it's just he just doesn't like it. It bothers him.
it is a tough line to run.
What?
I said I can agree to that.
CMS knows. Um. So that being said, Grant, do you want to talk about your off season, how you and Dash came together?
Really, it was starting a different kind of formation than what it ended up being. I was going in with another owner of the team, and we were going to team up, go to Toyota because we both wanted something a little bit different this year. But then he decided to dip out the league, and which is fine. Stuck kind of with Dash. We got things a little bit prepared during the off season. Uh, went to the Clash at Richmond, and the guys did pretty well there. Then going into the duels, we had a plan going. Then kind of things changed in an instant. I ended up falling behind because of a driver error, trying to go high with no too much momentum, and now we're here getting ready for the 500, making last minute checks on the cars, and go out and possibly win this thing.
Yeah, it's I know at the Fatal Camp, it's been eerily quiet for us. We've been really quiet. We've been really just we've been really there hasn't been a whole lot of talk because the guys at Daytona they know that there's no need to worry because it seems like a fatal car is always up front trying to win it. The fatal groups are always there. 500s come home to Chevy. The last 3 seasons, so it's it's not a big worry for the fatal guys. I think the truck series and the Bush series are the two that I'm stressing about because I just want our guys to win through and through. But that's the beauty of the league, how competitive it is you know just how it is. CMS, with you, your strong suit. What is your strong suit? Tracks.
Well, Gateway, I guess, because I didn't expect to win that one, and I did.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Daytona's both the speedways, Daytona and Talladega, Atlanta, um, I guess Kansas and a few other tracks that are here and there. But other than that, I'm mostly hit and miss, except for road courses in Bristol.
Mm-hmm. So, kind of an off-topic question. I'm gonna pose it to everybody. How do you guys? I know it's kind of little. We're a little late to the party, but how do you guys feel about Kyle Busch going to RCR?
I ain't gonna make no comment because I ain't a Bush fan.
Ah,
Oh, I definitely get that. Me being a Dell Jr. fan growing up, and the stuff that them two got to in Richmond, really ruined his Kyle Busch for me. But last couple seasons, I started really gaining respect, especially watching what he did in 2015, coming back from a wreck, missing literally half the season, winning. I think it was like 4 or 5 races that season to come back to win the championship. Really gained respect for me as a driver for him. Still didn't quite like the personality, the mean guy, I guess to say, in the in NASCAR. But I think RCR is going to be a really good fit for him. Get back to Chevrolet, who has proved to be pretty strong the past few years, especially with Larson going 10 wins in 21. Chevy, I think they had about 12 wins last season, if not more. So I think RCR is going to be a really good fit for him.
mhm. Will.
Uh, I mean, I like it because it's different. For him, he hasn't been to RCR in almost a decade or over a decade. So it's it's a different team for him since he's been at Gibbs for so long. And if anybody has ever watched the Xfinity series, they know we do not like the Gibbs crew. So, um, it's cool to see him go somewhere else because I think he was starting to get hindered at Gibbs a little bit.
I definitely agree with that statement that he was getting Hendrick Gibbs. I think that he was almost like being pushed out is kind of the way that I look at it. And I think him going to RCR, that's gonna do leagues for him. And then also for like Tyler Reddick, going to replacing Kurt in the 45. I think that is a great jump for him. I think 23-11. I think they're really starting to come into their own form. Becoming a great team. I loved seeing Kurt win that 45 car last year. Or two was it 2 years? No, last year at Michigan. Yeah,
No, go there.
yeah, last year at Michigan, and then having the 45 sweep it. That was pretty cool with Bubba. Regardless of how anyone feels about Bubba, you know, I don't mind Bubba personally. You know, I think with the right coaching, I think he can do. I think he can be a lot better than what he is, and that's all I'm gonna say on Bubba.
Going Grant's point, he said he's an Earnhardt fan. Well, my driver was the same one that helped him win Talladega a lot, Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
Good old Stewart.
Yo.
Um, the Clash the other night for us. I know the Clash is on tomorrow night for actual NASCAR, but our Clash on Tuesday night at Richmond ran caution free. Besides the competition caution, it ran caution free. 18 cars at Richmond. The only incident on the track was coming up off two. Dash's car didn't turn, and he about took out Casey Joe, and they slid up into the wall. Then there was the five cars behind them was myself, Casey, Hittenberger, Goose, and there's two more behind me. I wasn't sure who they were, but we they Goose and I separated like the Red Sea because we had a car spinning to our left. And then we came back together, and I thought we were gonna hit, so I let off. He rose up, and I went underneath him. I ended up gaining like 3 spots out of it, so I wasn't complaining. But it was like that was like the worst incident of the night. So it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy how that all ended up working out. Um, Grant, what was your take on the Clash?
Like I said, it was really good watching it go green the whole way. You know, like you said, such for the competition caution just to get the manuals, kind of working with this. Since that's the only series that we do manuals in. But no, it's just shows that we have a great group of guys in the Cup Series this season, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think it's going to be a great time. I think it's going to be enjoyable. The last few seasons of Cup have been fantastic, and everybody doing what they're supposed to, and being fast, being competitive. Um, I'm excited to see what Drake can do coming up. Winning 10 races last season, 10 out of like 12 he ran. So that's that's going to be big to see what he can do in a Cup car against the Cup. On all the guys for Racing Cup or Racing Bush last season. A lot of them dropped down the truck. We're trying to run something different. So now that we got us all back together again, I mean, he won the Clash, but um, it'd be really interesting to see what happens after Daytona. Because we all know Daytona's mostly luck. You gotta be in the right place at the right time. Because if you're not, then as we saw with myself, I hit the track spike going into 3 and about took out Casey Joe. So
Nah,
and I fell back by myself the rest of the race. So I was just chilling.
Well, Daytona's not also just luck; it's also your friends who you can rely on. So that's a big friend trap. So,
That's true. That's true. Got to
yeah,
find your
that one we
friends.
kind of saw last season in the truck series, it was me and my other driver Evan versus you three in Fatal, and we had a heck of a show those last 5 laps going on.
Yeah, is the Fatal trucks. They're hard to beat. They're very, very hard to beat.
Yep.
That's something else. That's almost like a requirement to come to Fatal. So you gotta do real well to come to Fatal, and you gotta be good at super speedways, or else you're not gonna last, or we're gonna make you good, or yeah,
Yeah.
Hey,
you're gonna be cannon
hey,
fodder.
hey, just hopefully this year I don't do the same mistake I did at Talladega or Daytona.
Now,
Forget
which
to
was
shift down. Forget to shift down into first, coming off of pit road in Talladega, and speeding on pit road at Daytona twice.
I got my first speeding penalty in the season last night at in Mike's League at Sonoma in the trucks.
Yeah.
I thought the pit line was a little further back, and I was like 40 something. So note to self for tonight: the pit where the pit line is, Jade, because we're not
Yeah.
gonna run over it again.
Yeah.
Sonoma's that one track where that commitment line's iffy because it's right there, like up against the racing line too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I made that mistake last night. I hit it the pit line going into 11.
yeah, that was
Yeah. There, Richmond, Martinsville, Phoenix is good at that if you run too low.
yeah. Then it's like the opposite of Dover, where Dover's like so low, like you can miss it. And Darlington's the same way as Dover.
Yeah.
You're not good enough, or not or low enough to come in. Um, so now I have you three on here. What is your favorite um NASCAR history moment?
Favorite NASCAR history moment. 2010 Nationwide Series, Dell Jr. winning Daytona in the three.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm
I'd say for me, it would have to be Tony Stewart's last win at Sonoma.
Oh,
yeah.
that was a very great race. Him and Hamlin.
Well,
Um, Probably have to say Junior winning the Coke 400 the same year that senior passed away.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
speaking of that, I have
Oh no, he's going into his magical bag. Oh no. What's he going to pull out now?
so my step grandfather, he passed away a year or two ago, but I got his tapes of the Daytona of the 500 when he crashed, um, the memorial service, and then SBN's tribute to him. So I have all those on a VHS. So if anyone knows where the VCR is, please let me know. I have
I have
those.
Go get one from
like
Walmart.
3 in my house.
Then I have copies of the papers, like the local papers down in Florida, from where from that as well. And then yeah, I have a whole bunch of stuff. I gotta find it. It's somewhere.
Hey, if you need some VHS players, I have like 3 of them in my house.
Perfect. Great. Send one up to the PA for me. Oh, so Kevin's gonna join us when he's
Oh,
done.
that's good.
All
If it's gonna connect his audio.
Yo, Kevin!
It's still
Big
connected on
yawn!
him. So I'd have to say my favorite moment in NASCAR history. Um I think for me would be Kurt Busch winning the Daytona 500. Um just because it was I was sitting watching with my friends, and I was in my friend's living room, and was I was standing screaming at the TV because Kurt's in position. Everyone's starting to run out of fuel, fall back, and I'm like, oh, like he's gonna win. He's got a shot. It's got a shot at it. Then he made that move off of two on the backstretch, and I was like, oh, please, Lord, no one get organized. Everyone stay behind him, stay behind him. Like, come on, Kurt. So it was cool to see him win the 500. You know, for me, it's gonna be very very weird to watch a clash and to watch the 500 and have Kurt not in it. Um, Me personally, I'm pulling for Tyler Reddick and Hale Mellon. So my boys Chastain and Reddick. So those are my guys I'm going with now. Kev, do you want to say your favorite?
Just want to give a quick update on class practice. Briscoe and Almendinger just got into it. Briscoe went to the outside wall.
Poor Briscoe. Actually, I love Chase Briscoe. He after being wrecked last season at Bristol in the dirt race, he was so like it happens, man. He was so
Well,
chill about it. So like it didn't matter. All right, Kev, what's your favorite?
Hmm. My favorite probably has to be when Jimmy won the fifth championship in a row, and then Chad held up the little post-it note saying, "We did it."
That's great. That's great. I love it. Um, so Kevin, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit to everyone watching? I mean, most of us know you pretty much as the next voice of the Cup Series, but he's so excited, guys. He's so excited. He's gonna need some help in the broadcast booth. I can tell you that right now. See, he's not Grant and I. Grant and I get so excited. We get so into it.
Yep.
God,
The false
start
tone left. They go so fast.
I start screaming. It's great. I
left
love it, man.
turn. They're making a left turn.
I think after
Let's go to commercial.
the duels, we should let Dash just be in race photo.
Rody Applebee's commercial.
Oh goodness, I
Waffle,
love it.
waffle, 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 choose your double.
Oh my, that's Burger King. That's not Applebee's. That's the wrong commercial,
That's
sir.
fine. Um,
That's all. That's all we can afford.
so Will,
We ain't
Applebee's.
fancy like Applebee's.
oof.
No, we got
Well,
Gapplebee's.
well,
So
if you do play the Applebee's commercial, Mike Harmon will appear out of nowhere.
oh man. All right, Will. So, what is the biggest difference? Um, and I know that personally you do not drive the car, but what's the biggest difference between the actual in real life car versus the video game?
Hmm. Well, I know a lot of this like setup stuff is nowhere near the same.
Hmm.
Like in the game, it'll have by clicks where here, like your wedge, you measure that with a tape measure. You go from on the left side where it actually moves up and down. You take a tape measure and go from the bottom of the mount where the track bar mounts to the bottom of the actual mount of where the mount for the track bar is, and that's your wedge. And then you do the same on the well, that's on the right side. Then on the left side where the track bar bolts to one of the truck arms, that's where you measure it to see to where you put it at, and there's different holes you can stick it in to know how high or low you want it. Like springs are not you can put rounds in it to either get the spoiler out of the air or stuff like that and make it drive better. um there's a lot of stuff. I mean, like I've never driven one, so I can't tell you driving wise. I'm pretty sure it's completely different. um but I know setup, like I've tried it before where I've used one of our old setups, and that they've completely changed for what we are now, and it just does not work. Like you can use it, but you have to edit it to make it work in a video game. Like take maybe lower a spring 2 clicks, or put a little more wedge in it or take some out or change tire pressure or stuff like that to make it work in the game because the game doesn't have real life physics. It's just doing what it can.
Mhm.
So I mean, setup wise is where the biggest area where that is because you don't get everything setup wise. Like it's just not springs and wedge and tire pressures and camber and caster. Like on the rear end itself, it has lowering blocks or pinion shims to change the pinion angle of it. You can change truck or I mean not anymore because they made them both 51 inches. But before you had a 46 and a 51-inch truck arm you could use on the left side.
Mhm.
Um, so like, but now they've went to 51s on both sides and changed the housing. But like before, like your short track stuff might have a 51, and your road course stuff and your super speedway stuff was going to have a 51-inch in it, and your intermediates were going to have a 46 on the left side. So I
Mhm.
mean, you can't change that in the game. You can't change your pinion angle or your skew. You can't change that, which is how far you tilt the rear end one way or the other, which is basically your toe. And you can't change any of that on the rear end in the game. But here we have a set number we can be at, or you can be around these two numbers. You can't be under or over.
Mhm.
So and and I mean, just stuff like that. They because they can't make it into the real world. Like when you're doing your career in the game, it'll say, "Oh, this car pat it failed tech, so it's going to the rear." Well, we don't actually have tech in a game, but we go through tech every week. Um, it's just little stuff like that that's going to be completely different because they probably either can't or didn't want to go that much in depth because of what it was.
Mhm. Okay. So so we talked about heat. Does any of it transfer to iRacing, or is iRacing completely off as well from in real life as well?
iRacing is going to be about the closest you're going to get to it.
Mhm.
Because I mean, there in iRacing, you can literally change everything. Like, I mean, anything that is changeable on that car, you can change it and make it work. And there, you can also do something and it'll fail you for it, and you have to change it again. It's not like Heat where you can put in any number you want that it'll allow you and you can run it. Where in iRacing, if you're too over, it'll tell you, and if you're too low, it'll tell you. So you have to there. You still have to be between two set numbers. You can't
Mhm.
be under or over, and you can change just about anything. And I mean, like that's what real drivers use to get breaking points and stuff like that. I mean, it's not going to get you 100%. This is how the car is going to drive, but it's going to give you an idea.
Mhm. Well, yeah, there you go,
How about
everyone.
that, bro?
That's the insider scoop of how close our racing is to the in real life racing. Um, yeah, I Speaking of iRacing, Will, you were named the iRacing VP. What is your thoughts on when? What's your timeline for getting us an iRacing series here in the WRL?
Well, I've been going back and forth with you on it, and you give me complete control over it of what I want to do. And we're going to be running Xfinity cars for now, and then until we can either get enough people or get enough days to where we can run multiple series. At some point, I would like to do a sports car style series like IMSA or something like that.
Mhm.
Um, but a lot of it right now is just working around my work schedule. We went to 3 cars this year, so it's going to be tough. And then these next 2 weeks are going to be rough because we got to get 9 cars ready in 2 weeks, and we're still waiting on parts. Um, so mainly it's just going to be waiting for a day to open up. That's not a weekend.
Mhm.
With us flying out Thursday nights, Friday mornings. Not getting back here till either midnight Saturday or sometime Sunday morning. So I would like to either do it on a Sunday or a Monday, but it would just be whenever one of those days opens up.
Mhm.
And then when they do, hopefully here soon, I'm going to try doing some recruiting once we can actually get a date set, and then start doing some recruiting and start getting some people ready. And when we can start running some races, get everybody acquainted with each other and get them acquainted with rules and point systems and all that, and hopefully get it going here within the next couple months. It just depends on whenever one of those 2 days opens up.
Hmm.
But whenever that happens, I want to get it going. I was trying to get it going this off season, but we never were able to get it figured out. So if it has to wait till next off season, it can. Or if we can get it going sometime, here in the next few months, then that'd be great too.
Yeah, buddy, sounds like a plan. I know you mentioned to me about getting a broadcaster for it and stuff like that, and it just everything you said, it sounds wonderful to me. It sounds like it's gonna be a great time. I am not gonna be very good at it. I'm not very good at iRacing quite yet. I'm still good at Heat.
I'll be there with you.
So as long
I don't
you know,
even have iRacing yet, so
I'm
it's,
still in rookie.
I think I'm in B class for oval for asphalt, but other than that, I've been rookie and everything else. I do have one win, and that's on the dirt road courses and the pro lights. So I will take that all day, every day. I love racing the
Man,
pro
I got
lights.
one win in a street stock at Charlotte.
See, I
But
think I've got I've got a few street stock wins at multiple tracks. I've got two Ferrari Challenge wins, one Michelin Pilot win, um, a third in the Suzuki 10 hour, um, one ARCA win, and two Legends wins.
okay, a lot more than me. But that being said, I think we're gonna wrap up the podcast here, kids, because it's almost 8 o'clock here. So we are gonna wrap it up. Grant, you want to take us away?
Yep. Thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. Thank you for. Oh, because I almost dropped my phone. Will, Kevin, CMS, and Jade for being here. Jade, good job as always with the podcast. Doing great things.
You forgot about
Um,
Kevin.
no, it's a Kevin.
he did say
He
Kevin.
said
Did he?
it.
Oh, sorry, Kev. I was looking out for you. I guess
Open
I was wrong.
your ear.
Jade, I swear you gotta ruin it every time.
Listen, listen. Hazard's not here to do
I'm
it.
sorry, y'all. He's just not all here. He's just not all
For
here.
real.
He's a
Get him
little,
out of here. Just leave the call.
little slow.
Jade's doing his best. That's
He's had a long reach. Okay.
Y'all giving me gray
Did you
hair.
not see the door?
Okay, y'all are giving me gray hair. Okay, like
You're welcome. You're welcome.
yeah.
My pleasure.
Of course, it's your
Okay,
pleasure. This
Dude,
guy.
go ahead and leave it.
Go ahead, Grant. Go ahead and finish it.
Thank you everyone for tuning in to the WRL Revved Up podcast. Thank you for Will, Kevin, and CMS for joining. Jade for hosting, like always, even with your mess ups. And tune in Monday night for entry. We are going Daytona racing, boys, in truck series. So, with that being said, keep your racing worldwide and see y'all next week.
Daytona week.
Rock and roll. I'm ready.
All right, thanks everybody for coming on out. We'll see y'all next week for Daytona.